Hello friends, this is Dr. Sangeeta Joshi from Vidyalankar Institute of Technology. Let us understand the concept of ohmic contact today. What is ohmic contact? It is nothing but a metal semiconductor junction, as you can see from this figure. However, this metal semiconductor junction is having the characteristics of low resistance and it allows current in both the directions. If you look at this IV characteristics, you will find that this y-axis is the current axis and x-axis is the voltage axis. In either of the biasing conditions, forward and reverse, you will find the linear IV characteristics. And this is a non-rectifying contact, because you are getting these characteristics as a linear in for both the biases. How to get ohmic contact? There are two ways. Either you can reduce the Schottky barrier height or you can reduce the Schottky barrier width. Now while reducing the Schottky barrier width, what you can do, you know that this XD, which is the depletion width, that is inversely proportional to the square root of the doping density of a semiconductor. Now, whenever you are making this semiconductor heavily doped, that time you are able to reduce this depletion width and hence W can be made narrower. And what is the effect of making the W narrower? The effect is that it is possible to make the movement of carriers either from metal to the semiconductor or from semiconductor to the metal through the barrier directly. That is called as the tunneling. I mean, they need not cross the entire barrier like this. So you can do it directly. The tunnel carriers will be moving through this tunnel. So that is how we can make the ohmic contact. Secondly, now rather than reducing the depletion width, you can eliminate the entire depletion width by populating the majority carriers near the contact than in the bulk. Now, how can we achieve this? It can be done by making the metal work function lesser than the semiconductor work function. That means phi m less than phi s for n type of semiconductor, or if phi m is greater than phi s, then for p type of semiconductor you can generate a ohmic contact. Let us take the example of metal and n-type semiconductor wherein phi m is less than phi s. Now phi m is the metal work function, you can see here, and phi s is the semiconductor work function. So phi m is less than phi s. Now this diagram is before you join the metal and semiconductor, and whenever you are joining both of them, then in order to align the Fermi level, the carriers would be flowing from metal to the semiconductor and the Fermi levels would be aligned. Now here you can say that because phi m is less than phi s, and in order to align the Fermi levels, you will find that here this is the EFS, that is the Fermi level for the n-type semiconductor. This is the conduction band. In the bulk there is a difference between the EC and EFS, but at the junction you will find that EF and EC, Fermi level and the conduction band, they are overlapping each other. That means that there are the majority carriers are there, and that is how you can see here the charge as a more number of majority carriers. They are populated, majority carriers are populated at the junction, and therefore there is no depletion region in this junction, and therefore the ohmic contact occurs when the induced charge in the semiconductor during the Fermi level alignment is the majority carrier, and whenever this is a majority carrier, the junction form is a ohmic contact. So here we can summarize all those points. Now whenever you are joining this metal and semiconductor with phi m less than phi s, so barrier for carriers is small and easily overcome for the small voltage. Now this is the barrier we can see, and this is easily overcome. So barrier height is reduced, then no depletion reached, and because at the junction there are majority carriers, and ohmic contact are formed by doping the semiconductor heavily, because whenever you are doping the semiconductor heavily, then you will be getting the more number of majority carriers accumulation region at the junction. Now let us look at the other case whenever it is a p-type semiconductor and phi m is greater than phi s. Here also you can see now this phi m, it is greater than this phi s. This is before the alignment, and after alignment you can find here the majority carriers accumulated at the junction are the p-type semiconductor. You can see here the bands are bending up here, and here the valence band and the, since it is a p-type semiconductor, valence band and Fermi level, they are at the same point at the junction, and therefore you will find the majority carriers here at the, that is how you can make the, for these two specific combinations, n-type semiconductor metal has to be phi m less than phi s, and for p-type semiconductor phi m greater than phi s, you will always end up with a ohmic contacts in CMOS. Now this is the CMOS inverter cross-sectional view, and you can find here these are the source and drain for the NMOS because it is in a P substrate, and these are the P plus contacts for the PMOS transistor, which is there in the N well. Now these contacts which we are taking out, this contact and these contacts, these are all the ohmic contacts, and ideally this resistance of the ohmic contact is very small, and that is independent of the applied voltage. So little voltage is dropped across the ohmic contact, that is voltage drop across the ohmic contact is almost equal to the 0 volts. Advantages and applications of the ohmic contact: since these are the low resistance ohmic contacts, they allow the charge to flow easily in both the direction, that is most important. Then the RC time constant is much better because of the low resistance contact, and it shows better frequency response of the device. Thank you.